So that's a really huge percentage, and we want to make sure that we take advantage of that and tell our kids what they're doing correctly. And also it helps to build their self-esteem, make them more confident in what they're doing, and so you're just giving them the praise that they need in order to do that. So I don't know if any of you have heard of positive behavioral supports. It's kind of a nationwide thing that's going through right now. A lot of schools are implementing what's called school-wide positive behavior support systems. A lot of parents are using them in their home. And so what we've learned is that if we do implement positive behavioral support, so if we tell our kids what they're doing right, if we are proactive and instead of being reactive, so we plan what we're going to do to support the behavior that we want to see, like these types of supports, then it works much better than just being reactive and waiting for that behavior to happen and then trying to correct it. It's much easier if we can implement a support like this and be proactive and try and prevent the behavior from happening in the first place than it is to try and correct the behavior after it's already happened. So that's all positive behavior supports are. They're basically, supporting the behavior that we do want to see, telling kids what they're doing right, being proactive, making all of the reinforcements that we use, all the supports that we use individualized based on what the kids need, based on the individual circumstances, and then making sure that we give the kids the opportunity to make choices and to participate in the reinforcements they're getting and the supports that we're using, and making sure that these are used in the homeschool and community, because they can be used anywhere. It's not just a school thing, it's not just a home thing. These positive behavioral supports can be used anywhere. So here's the pyramid that is used whenever we're describing positive behavioral supports. And so basically all this is at the very bottom is the green section of the pyramid, and all that says is that if we teach kids the expected behavior, so we teach them what we want them to do, if we reinforce whenever they do what we want them to do, and if we tell them what they're doing right, and if we're consistent with it, and we plan these strategies, we plan to teach them these skills, and we're very consistent with it, then 80 to 85% of children, of all children, will respond to that. And they will follow the rules that we have set in place. So 10 to 15% of those kids in the yellow section will still have a little bit of trouble following the rules. They'll still need some what we call booster shots. So they may need to be reminded more often. They may need to have extra instruction on a support like this, or on the rules and expectations that you have for them. So they may need what we call booster shots. They may need a little bit more than what the other kids need. And so that's fine. That's 10 to 15% of kids that kind of fall into that category. And so then after we've done that, and we're giving those booster shots, and we're really working and making the instruction more individualized, and we're helping the kids more one-on-one and spending more time with teaching them the rules and expectations, then we'll still have about 5% of the kids up here in the red part of the triangle that are still going to have some difficulty following the rules. So a lot of times our kids that have autism or related disabilities, then sometimes they jump right to the 5%. Sometimes we're like, okay, they have autism, so they automatically go to the red part of the triangle, and they have to have really intense individualized supports. But by doing that, by putting them straight to the red part of the triangle, then we have skipped the whole process of the green and the yellow, which is teaching them the behavioral expectations, teaching them the rules and how we want to see them complete those rules, and reinforcing whenever they do the expected behavior. So they missed out on that whole part. So another thing this support support will do is to help kids that have autism or other types of disabilities, to help them get that instruction piece that's in the bottom parts of the triangle. So it will help them to teach them what exactly you expect them to do. So in the I am working for card, it is a token economy, and a token economy is a really big piece of positive behavioral supports. So token economy is basically earning reinforcements, they can be in the form of a check mark like we have, or in the form of tokens, anything like that, but you're earning things for good behavior, for expected behavior. So after you have taught them what they need to do and what your expectations are, then they earn based on the behavior that they have exhibited. So whenever they do good, then they get check marks on their I am working for card. So we want them, whenever they earn them, we want to tell them what they did that was good, be very specific, and they're going to earn all their tokens all the way up until they get the reinforcement for doing the job that we have asked them to do. So here's an explanation of an I am working for card. So what we're going to do, what we're going to make today is up here in this corner, you're going to identify reinforcements that your kids really like. So something that they would be willing to work for. And we're going to have you identify about 10 things that you know they're really going to work for. And then we're going to make icons, symbols, pictures for those things so they can be represented up here in the top corner. And then these check marks on the bottom are what your child earns, what they have to do in order to get the reinforcement that you put up at the top. So what happens is that this one has 4 checks, but your child may need to start with only earning 1 check, and then they get their reinforcement. Because if they've never used this type of support before, then we probably don't want to start with making them earn a full card of checks. We want to start with having them earn 1, and then they get their reinforcement. So this check might represent 1 task at your house that your child is supposed to complete. So maybe this is taking out the garbage. Or this could be even taking their dish to the sink. Or wiping their spot where they just ate. It could be anything really simple. It could be going to the bathroom, going to the potty on their own. So you can have this check represent anything that you want to, but the trick is you have to teach them what they have to do to earn this check first. And then once they earn it, then we're going to tell them exactly what they've done right. And on this one, they filled up their card, so they get their reinforcement. They get the thing that we've put up here that they're going to earn. So here's some examples of some I'm working for systems. This one, it was for a younger child. And so what this teacher did was she took pictures, really large pictures, of all of the things that this little girl could earn, and she posted it up on the wall. And so what this little girl would do, she would go over and choose what she wanted to be her reinforcement from the menu, and then she would put it on her card, and then that was what she was working for. So this is really great because it incorporates choice making. And so the child gets to choose what they want to work for, what they would like to earn. And that's a really great skill to work on, because then you're teaching them to be independent, you're teaching them to make choices, and you're teaching them a skill that's going to serve them throughout life. So it's really great if you could set up a menu and have them choose from that menu what they'd like to earn. So this little girl had to earn 4 before she got her reinforcement. So here's another example. This one is for an older child. And this one, she has her reinforcement up in the corner. You see she's working for an activity book. And she has to earn 5. She has to earn the numbers 1 through 5 before she gets her activity book. So if your child starts off and you're starting off with them earning 1 check, then you can work up after they're getting really good with earning 1 check and getting their reinforcements. Then we're going to up the ante a little bit. We're going to make them earn 2 checks. So maybe now they have to put their dish in the sink and wipe the table before they get their reinforcement. And then after a while, they're doing that really well, and you say, okay, great. They've started to where now they can put their dish in the sink and they can wipe the table with no problem, and they earn their reinforcement. Then we're going to up the ante, and they have to earn 3. So maybe now they have to put their dish in the sink, they have to wipe the table, and they have to load the dishwasher. So then they have to earn 3 checks before they get their reinforcement.